we're proud that we can say we're always getting better, growing stronger every day, taking pride in Mobile. Haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going, taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile. Come on, let your spirit show. Taking pride in Mobile. We're growing, shining, winning, so we're taking pride in Mobile. We're old, we're young, we're fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. We're old, we're young, fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Watch for an accident with injury on Baptist Way at Corday Street in Pensacola. Also watch for congestion at the Bankhead Tunnel east on Highway 98 from Government to I-10. It's a 4-minute drive. Also getting word of an accident I-10 eastbound at Water Street in the left lane just before the tunnel in Mobile. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. Fall for a brooding duke. Dive into a steamy romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas. Or find the perfect rom-com from Lily Chu. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
News Radio 710. The Uncle Henry Show. Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
My fellow citizens, the final hours of the campaign are upon us. I urge all of you, please take time to vote. You are the guardians of this great democracy. We should pray that as much as we honor those who died to make us free, we also fervently pray such sacrifice will never again be required, that there will be a day when new battlefields are never again created. This and every election is what they sacrificed for. They gave everything to preserve and protect the vote you are free to exercise. Regardless of how you choose, you must take the time to make that choice.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you. I appreciate very, very much you listening to the Uncle Henry Show. And once again, here we are together, me and you, trying to figure out what is going on in the world around us. What is going on? What's going on with all these people? Now, if you can clue me in, telephone lines are open, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. We've got so much to get into, as usual, here on the Uncle Henry Show. Of course, a lot of people spend time watching the Charlie Kirk Memorial yesterday. We can get into that. We got. I played Reagan talking about voting because tomorrow is runoff voting day for many municipalities around the state of Alabama, including here in Lower Alabama. You got the mayor's race in Mobile, Barbara Drummond versus Spiro. That is tomorrow. You got to vote there. And many other cities. You got voting in Pritchard. A lot of people curious about Chickasaw. I think just a lot of places with some voting. So make sure you go and vote. We've seen situations just in the last vote where only a few votes. What was it in Pritchard? What were they separated by 2 or 3 votes? So, hey, your vote counts in these municipal elections especially. Go out and vote tomorrow. Now, I got a lot I can say myself, but already people calling in to talk. So let me go ahead and grab some phone calls here on the Uncle Henry Show. Again, 251-479-2723, the telephone number to call. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Uncle Henry.
Cliff, you are live on the radio.
Uncle Henry, did you see that ABC was frightened into hiring Kimmel back?
Yes, for you, the listener, if you hadn't heard, Jimmy Kimmel will be back on his show tomorrow night.
You remember the young man that was on Fox? He didn't say anything that vile, and he didn't lie, and Fox had to get rid of him.
Right.
These people, I'm telling you, they got control over evil people, and I guess they got control over the money, too, because you would think that Disney wouldn't pull nothing like that because, you know, you got us, the people that really pays the money to go to Disney. And we're going to start standing up for certain things. Even in Alabama, you got people running for offices and have offices here that are black. Talking about they wouldn't stand up for vote for Charlie Kirk's memorial and all of this stuff. But you will make a statue and name streets after a demon.
It's a wild world.
Evil is showing its ugly face because the Democrats are, I said that now, most of them are just being used and they're stupid. But the leftists and those communist Marxists, they are real evil people. And so what's happening is they are showing these people their true color because a lot of them they don't need.
They don't care. And I'm saying must be the case, Cliff.
Yeah, I don't care if they say something stupid and get ran off because they got, you know, crazy always show up late, so they got more crazy people to use. And they'll say stupid things. This is so vile. I don't care who it is. I respect somebody's funeral. I don't care if it was the most hated people in the world. I don't want them to die because that judgment is on them. I don't care how bad they are or whatever they did or whatever they said to me. I don't wish death on anybody because the Bible talks about what you wish for someone else, how you do someone else. You'll get it back. That's why we don't hate. Bless
you too. Thank you, Cliff. I appreciate very much your phone call. A blessing to the program and to the listener. 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show. Hello, caller.
Uncle Henry is the Bama Bush Hog. Rob Morris, how you doing?
Bama Bush Hog, you are live on the radio.
Oh, it's always good to be live, Uncle Henry. I'd hate the alternative. Hey, look at here. I'm going to wish all your listeners a happy day of fall, first day of fall.
Yeah, happy first day of fall to you, too.
Well, thank you, sir. You know, it's autumnal equinox, and everything is in balance in our hemisphere today. It's equal time of night and day, and you can stand the egg up, and it'll stand up by itself on today. If you could, all your listeners could try it out. It works every time.
I've never tried that, so if I went home and pulled out an egg, I'd be able to stand it up, and it wouldn't wobble.
Well, you know, you got to have a little patience. There's a little feeling, a little tingling in your fingertips when it happens, and you can just throw your fingers away, and it's going to fall by itself. You can take a picture and share it with all your friends. I'd love to see people that do it. I did it myself today. But look, the reason why I'm calling is about the election tomorrow, the runoff election for mayor. Okay?
Yes.
Look, people need to know. Me and the camera girl went to go vote in the election, and we were turned away because of the redistricting thing going on, and we didn't get the memo. We had to go vote somewhere else. And it was a big mess in the general election when we all voted for Mayor of Mobile and elsewhere. But look here. People need to know before they go to vote, go to cityofmobile.org, and they'll tell you exactly. You put in your information, they'll tell you where you need to go vote. So there's no confusion. You can go vote. Now, tomorrow, after I vote here in Mobile, I'm going to travel down to Chickasaw, Alabama, because a close personal friend of mine, Tyron Colvin, is running for mayor of Chickasaw. So I'm going to be down there to support Tyron, my friend, to become mayor of Chickasaw. Now, once the votes are tallied after 7 p.m. in little old Chickasaw, Alabama, we find out that my boy won, well, we're going to take the trip on down to Mobile downtown for the Hero Cheery Goddess watch party, and hope he pulls it off as well. Have a good day, Uncle Henry.
All right, Bush Hog, thank you for your voice, your phone call to the show. I appreciate that very, very much. Going to take a timeout. More on the vote tomorrow and other topics as the Uncle Henry Show continues.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Heavy congestion is developing in Mobile. Watch for an accident on I-10 East between Texas Street and Water Street right before the tunnel. The left lane is blocked. And from I-65 to the Eastern Shore, it's about a 30-minute delay. North on Highway 31 from Spanish Fort to Highway 59, it's a 14-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
All right, YouTube viewers, hope all is well with you. Right now, I'm on the cityofmobile.org on my desktop in front of me. I'm looking to see if it's difficult to find lists of polling places. I'm not seeing it yet. All right, well, I'm trying to remember what web I did. I found my voting place on a website, but it was, I think it was a state of Alabama, Secretary of State's website. Let me see. Yeah, you can look up your polling place on the Secretary of State's website, alabamavotes.gov. Anyway, let me check YouTube and see if anybody is there looking at this live stream of the program. Yeah, I see a small number of you there. Thank you for looking. Who do we have here? Nelson, hello to you. And there's, what's his name? The Bush Hog. 68-year-old Chris. 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley with a question. No, I will not be watching the football tonight. I will not be watching the football. In fact, I didn't see any football over the weekend. Alabama was not playing. Hello to the multi fandom girly. Hello to you. Pat Nelly. Timmy Watkins. Richard Harvey. Larry Morting. And anybody that is not commenting in the comment section or chatting. Thank you for looking in on the program. Subscribe if you can stand it. Subscribe if you can stand it to the Uncle Henry Show on YouTube. Now, let's see. What can I tell you about? Going to be back on the radio in about 90 seconds. Had a wonderful, this past Friday night, had a wonderful meal with Cliff and Mrs. Cliff. What a wonderful time. Cliff, what a wonderful person to have dinner with. The wisdom just is every other bite, there's some wisdom. What a wonderful thing that was. And it was like a really long talk show call. It was good. All right, back on the radio in about 30 seconds.
Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the story of how Star Wars came to be and came to dominate pop culture. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. It is 5:20. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. You can also watch the Uncle Henry Show on YouTube, streaming live on YouTube. Just look for Uncle Henry Show on YouTube. You can watch me live, and then after you get bored within 2 or 3 minutes, or even less, you can look at old videos of mine from way back in 1989. All of that on YouTube. Telephone number here for the Uncle Henry Show, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. We got news headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Now, tomorrow is, as I mentioned before I went to the phones, tomorrow is the time to vote. And the runoff for the mayor's race in Mobile and many other municipalities. You heard the Bama Bush Hog in the last segment talking about Chickasaw. I mentioned Pritchard. Now, the Mobile mayor's race, I am at a point where I have no clue. I have no idea how it's going to go. Now, you may be more plugged in than me, and you may talk to more people around the town, so you may be more plugged in. You may know how things are going to shake out tomorrow. But I have no clue how the vote is going to go tomorrow. Now, I will say, as I've mentioned to you before, this is so different from previous mayor's races. And what I mean by that is this is the most partisan. Now, as you're aware, Mobile they don't have partisan elections for the city of Mobile, the mayor's race. They're nonpartisan elections, but we have two candidates that have run previously as both a Republican. One is a Republican and one is a Democrat. So we know which way they lean, at least on state and national issues. We at least know that, where the leaning is. But this was the first time, and I may be wrong on this, but this is the first time I can remember a candidate bringing in other big political names to endorse them in the mayor's race. Barbara Drummond getting people like Senator Doug Jones, the former Transportation Secretary Buttigieg, the mayor of Birmingham Woodfin, Senator Cory Booker. I mean, we've not had this before, at least that I can remember. We've had endorsements before, but not like this. And I guess, if Barbara Drummond manages to win, maybe it'll look like a bright idea. But to me, if she loses, it's going to look like the dumbest move you could possibly make. Why would you want to bring in, is the endorsement that valuable that you would risk associating yourself with these potential policies and these unpopular policies from other areas? I mean, Buttigieg, for example. An endorsement by him would help no one in Mobile, Alabama. Doesn't matter what side you're on, just wouldn't help you. It just I don't understand why you would even take the risk, especially when you were positioned pretty good to begin with. Take the risk of having somebody like Senator Cory Booker. It's almost such a turnoff to some people. I'm struggling to figure out how you would think this would have been a good idea. But we'll all find out. Tomorrow night we'll know. Maybe it's a brilliant idea, and I'm just too dumb to figure it out. But right now it is looking like a bad. It's a really bad idea. In fact, the running ads where Sam Jones is endorsing you. What a terrible idea. Now, I mentioned last week when we were all reading about Sam Jones' endorsement of Barbara Drummond, I know there are a lot of people in town that like him. Obviously, he's been elected. He was elected to county commission, elected to the state legislature, elected to mayor of Mobile. You got to have some people that like you to win those elections. But he lost twice running for mayor because people figured out that they didn't like the way he ran things. It just seemed like such a risk to bring in these endorsements. But again, I might be completely wrong. So there's a lot of suspense here. And I know both of the candidates have worked really, really hard, and their volunteers have worked really, really hard. So this is going to be something else. Really going to be something else to see how it all turns out tomorrow night. A lot of energy will be released. I hope positively when it's all over. But as I mentioned in the first segment of the show, don't forget that in these municipal elections, we've seen examples around the state and even, I think, in Pritchard, where things have gotten down to just a handful of votes deciding things. So you get up tomorrow and you think, well, so-and-so's got it. I've really got a busy day. Don't do that. If you really want to have a say, make sure you have that say tomorrow and go out and vote. It'll be, in these runoffs, it's even more important than it was the first time. So get out there and exercise that right to vote. And I'm looking forward to it. In fact, I even called and asked a few questions at the Board of Registrars last week. And I talked to a lady down there. Just the nicest lady. She didn't care who I was voting for. She just wanted to make sure that I had a good experience when I went and voted. So get out there and exercise your right to vote tomorrow. 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show. Also, the Bama Bush Hog caller mentioned that it was the autumnal equinox. As we begin autumn, we begin fall. And every year now, when we make this transition into autumn, it reminds me of years ago. I lived next door to a lady. At the time, she was about 93 or 94, and she liked to walk with me. She asked me when I walked my dog, if she could come along with us. She wanted to walk, get some exercise. And I would have wonderful conversations with this. This lady, by the way, is 98 now. Still with us at 98. But back when she was about 94, I remember she asked me one year, she says, when did it become fall? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, when I was growing up, it was always autumn. It used to be autumn. And now people keep calling it fall. She said, it's not fall. It's autumn. She seemed to think that it was kind of like cheating to call it fall, almost like it was lazy because you were using a shorter word. She wanted to bring back autumn. So it's not just fall, remember, it's autumn.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Very heavy congestion in Mobile. Crews are on the scene of an accident in the left lane. I-10 eastbound, approaching Water Street just before you get into the tunnel. Delays are backing up near Texas Street and heading from I-65 to the Eastern Shore on the Bayway. It's about a 24-minute delay. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Hello, I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. Tomorrow, runoff elections will happen across the Gulf Coast. That includes the races for Mayor of Mobile and Pritchard. In Mobile, the candidates include Spiro Cheragatis and Barbara Drummond. In Pritchard, Carletta Davis is facing incumbent Mayor Jimmy Gardner. Runoff elections for mayor will also be held in Chickasaw, Robertsdale, Jackson, and Flomaton. City council seats are also up for grabs in Pritchard, Chickasaw, Saraland, Daphne, Robertsdale, Gulf Shores, and Jackson. And stay with Fox 10 News for results tomorrow. Mobile police working an active homicide investigation on East Linwood Drive. When they got there, they found a man dead inside a home. It's unclear how he died. Police say they are not releasing those details to protect the integrity of the investigation. Now we're told once family members have been notified and the investigation progresses, they will release more information. A 3-year-old was critically injured Sunday when she was hit by a car on US 29 in Escambia County, Florida. That's according to the State Highway Patrol. It happened about 6 a.m. in the area of US 29 and East Herman Avenue. The FHP said the little girl was hit by a car in the southbound lanes of US 29. Now we're told she was taken to a hospital in critical condition. The Highway Patrol says the incident is still under investigation. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. President Trump says the use of Tylenol or acetaminophen during pregnancy may contribute to rising autism rates in the U.S.
Sadly, first question, what can you take instead? It's actually, there's not an alternative.
Tylenol's manufacturer, though, saying in a statement that acetaminophen is the safest pain reliever for pregnant women. President Trump standing by his border czar.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Tom Homan, President Trump's border czar, did not accept a $50,000 bribe last year during an undercover FBI sting.
This was another example of the weaponization of the Biden Department of Justice.
Leavitt also says the president did not direct the FBI or the Justice Department to close an investigation of Homan. Reports from multiple media outlets say Homan was investigated last summer for soliciting payments in exchange for contracts.
Fox's Jared Halpern. America's listening to Fox News.
YouTube viewers going to be back on the radio here in just less than 3 minutes. Heard the murder investigation in Mobile was a story from our Fox 10 guy, Cameron Taylor. In Montgomery over the weekend. I don't know if you keep up, but they had five die in Montgomery over the weekend. Just wild. Just reading what went down in Montgomery over the weekend, wild. One of them, let's see, there was a Friday homicide that was a shooting. Then Saturday morning, first responders went to a structure fire, and then when they got there, they found that somebody had passed away from blunt force trauma. Then later that evening, Saturday evening, a triple shooting where 2 people lost their lives. And then early Sunday morning, 2 women in a stabbing where one of them lost their lives. Quite a weekend in Montgomery. Let me see, is anybody watching on YouTube? Let me do a quick check. Yeah, small number of people watching. Thank you for looking in. Going to be back on the radio in about 1 minute. Hello to North Meets South. Thank you for looking. Metalhead. Hey, Larry Morton enjoyed Destin. We're very blessed to be in this part of the world, in this part of the country.
Leading by protecting our future.
We're not going to change how we feel, what we say.
With Clay Travis and Buck Sexton.
Charlie would want us all to continue in that fight.
Everything's not lost.
Weekdays at 11 on News Radio 710 WNTM.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. It is 5:35. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, how you doing?
Snake Trapper. Snake Trapper, you are live on the radio.
Uncle Henry, I sure hope Miss Barbara Drummond doesn't win that mayoral race, Uncle Henry, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
It's because, well, she thinks I am a threat to the future of this country, Uncle Henry, but I'd like her to know what type of person I am. A few years back, one morning, on the way to work, it was still dark, you know, because I leave pretty early. A car run off in the ditch. I could tell there was somebody in it, and I jumped out, not knowing if there was kids in the car or what it was, in the storm, and helped pull a drunk out of a ditch so that he wouldn't drown, and then he tried to assault me with a stick. So I wind up leaving him on the side of the road. So I'm no threat to the future of this country, Uncle Henry. I just hope she don't win.
Okay, well, I'm glad. Look, I'm glad. And by the way, God bless you for trying to help somebody that you see in distress on the side of the road. Thank the Lord that there are still people out there willing to do things like that at your own risk. So thank you for that.
Yes, sir. I mean, you just didn't know if there was kids in the car, and it happened to be an old drunk that run off in the ditch. And then he actually thought I'd run him off the road, but that's here nor there. But anyway, Uncle Henry, what I called to tell you about, you know, we at the height of snake season. So this Saturday morning, Uncle Henry, I got up and I decided I'm going to go hunt for Moccasinzilla, Uncle Henry. I started at the North Lake, north of us, and worked my way back to the dam, turning over logs, lifting up rocks, you know, just trying to see what I could find. Did not see any venomous snakes. I did see a couple of black snakes and a king snake and a garter snake. But, yes, sir, the snake activity is alive and well. And time I got back to the dam, Uncle Henry, them dadgum geese realized what was going on, and here they come. So I just about got assaulted by them. I went on and got out of there. But I believe that's the reason Moccasinzilla is not hung around here, because of the geese. So, you know, the bad snakes are gone, but it's because of the geese. But I think I'd rather have the dang snakes around than the geese.
Now, wait a minute. Well, of course you'd rather have the snakes around you. You have a fascination with snakes. But tell me this. So I've never heard of this
Yes,
before.
sir.
So you're thinking that this giant water moccasin has been scared off by the geese. So geese are a deterrent. If people are afraid of snakes, they can get some geese, and the geese will keep the snakes away.
Yes, sir. If you have Canadian geese hanging around your lake or pond and will not leave, you will definitely not have many snakes because they'll eat them. They'll actually eat them when they're little. I mean, they're not going to tackle one like Oxenzilla. He'd probably put a hurt on them. But, yes, sir, geese are known to eat snakes. They are very terrified of them. The geese are not scared of nothing, especially if they got young around. And I definitely don't believe they were coming after me because they had young around, because they got two that's actually hatched some that are practically grown now. So they were just being mean over here. They just didn't want me around.
Mean geese. They weren't being protective. They were being mean. They knew you were no threat. They just didn't like you.
Yeah, they do not like me, and another reason they'll come out of the lake, but they're 4 or 5 houses down because I've been having trouble with them for a while. But I'm thinking about getting me a migratory bird stamp this hunting season and harvest one of them, Uncle Henry, because
Wait a minute. Now, listener, we're not going to continue to talk about geese and snakes the whole half hour, but I'm so curious about this. So if you want to harvest a geese, you've got to get a special permission to shoot a geese?
Yes, sir. They are a migratory bird. They are protected, but you can get a hunting permit to actually harvest so many. I don't know the rules and regulations here for Alabama, but I do know that you can't just go out and get one, and they are an edible bird.
Yeah, but of course. But let me ask you this. So how long have the geese been there for a couple of years now?
Uncle Henry, them geese have been here for every bit of 10 years.
Well, you're going to have neighbors that are going to be emotionally bonded with the geese. And if you go out there and shoot one of these geese, you might have the neighborhood try to throw you out of the neighborhood. They're going to be mad at you.
Hey, Uncle Henry, the next time we're together and not on the radio, I got a story I'm going to tell you. It's a true story. It cannot ever get out. But it's one that you'll find very fascinating, but I will not.
Now, is it a story about somebody that is in love with the geese?
No, sir. It's about me and my troubles with the geese.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right.
I definitely cannot tell you on the radio, Uncle Henry.
Oh, well. Okay.
To your wine. All right, my friend. You take care, my
You
buddy.
too. Thank you very much for your phone call, Snake Trapper. No, I know from when they had a geese problem in Fairhope and wanted to relocate the geese or do, I forget. I've already forgotten what the ultimate solution was for the geese issue, but I do know that there were people that had developed strong emotional connections to the geese. See, we live in a time where people are having trouble getting along with each other. And instead of bonding with other human beings, they find it more easy to bond with a goose. And they'll go out and they'll name the goose and they'll feed the goose, and pretty soon they'll project some type of personality on the goose. And then if you try to do something with the goose, they're gonna act like you're doing it to their brother-in-law or something. So just be very careful, Snake Trapper, because these Fairhope people got very emotionally attached to their geese family. Hello, caller.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Yes, sir. You are live on the radio.
This is Tom. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Tom.
The last time I got to talk to you, I had the honor of meeting your parents.
Oh, wow.
Now, the reason I'm calling in regards to the campaign and the election, I've been campaigning a long time before I was ever old enough to vote. I was reminiscing the other day, and I remembered my first campaign with my parents was for president for Barry Goldwater. So here I am in Mobile. I'm 74 years old, and I'm campaigning for mayor.
Okay.
It's been 7 months now, and it's coming to the wire tomorrow. And I just want to urge people to get out and vote. Now, I did learn something in my years. Most time when a candidate is endorsed, that candidate seeks that endorsement. Nobody ever just does it without them being aware of it.
Okay.
So you understand where I'm coming from?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So it's being asked to have those people endorsed. So anyway, I want to urge each and every person to go out tomorrow. The polls are open from 7 to 7. Go out, vote for the candidate of your choice, but vote. Exercise your right, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
All right. Well, Tom, I hope all is well with you.
It is. I'm doing fine. I've got good health. I've got good friends, and so I'm doing fine.
Very, very good. Well, Tom, thank you very much for your phone call.
You're welcome, and have a nice evening.
You too. There he goes, Tom. I remember, I think I met Tom's son. He met my parents. I think I met Tom's son during a broadcast at Greer's St. Louis Market earlier this year. Tom, always a pleasure. Tom called the Uncle Henry Show, I don't know, 20 years ago. Always a pleasure to hear from Tom. Back with more after the break.
Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
If you're traveling eastbound on I-10, we are still looking at some heavy congestion on the Bayway from I-65 to the Eastern Shore. It's a 32-minute drive. Also, eastbound on the Causeway from the Bankhead to Spanish Fort, it's a 14-minute drive. I'm Lisa Baque. Follow us on X, Total Traffic Gulf Coast.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. Fall for a brooding duke. Dive into a steamy romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas. Or find the perfect rom-com from Lily Chu. Start listening.
YouTube viewers, I want to thank somebody subscribed on YouTube. So thank you. I appreciate that very much. Let me see what I can tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio. First, let me take a look at who may or may not be watching. Is there anybody still watching? You know, it occurs to me, Snake Trapper talking about these geese being mean. I think didn't he throw fireworks at them? They may be geese with memory. They may remember the fireworks. All right, let's see. Yeah, thank you all for looking in. I appreciate that very much. I do have a caller waiting. Pat Nelly cooking. What's for supper? We want to know. All right, let me see. What can I tell you? Pat Nelly probably can't type in because he is cooking. Let me look here. The United States best and worst roads. This is data from the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, which I've never heard of before. And they have their list of the states that have the best and the worst roads. The best roads are Indiana, Number 2, Kansas. Number 3, South Dakota. Number 4, Wyoming. And number 5, Vermont. Those are the best roads. Allegedly. The worst, the state with the worst roads, Rhode Island. Now, they ought to have the best roads. They're so small. What do they have to take care of? All right, Rhode Island, number 1. Hawaii, number 2. New Mexico, number 3. Connecticut, number 4. Mississippi, number 5, with the worst roads in the country. Now, I don't know where Alabama falls on the list. I don't know, I'm just glad Alabama's not in the 5 worst category, even though I would swear that we were based on some of my travels. All right, let's see. In Jessup, Iowa, the police department there has issued a statement saying that it is now completely against the law to toilet paper somebody's house. They're going to consider it harassment, and they will fine you and sentence you to community service if they catch you toilet paper in somebody's house in Jessup, Iowa. It's gotten out of hand. It's gotten out of hand.
For podcasting, this is News Radio 710, WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710, WNTM. It is 5:50. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes, and then more show. Hello, caller.
Is it me?
That's you.
What's going on, Henry?
Steve, you are live on the radio.
Yes, sir. I'm actually out in my backyard throwing knives while we're speaking.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, I just hadn't called in a couple of days. I had to let myself, come back down to earth after the whole Charlie Kirk thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to let anger cause your tongue to say something that you might regret saying, or anything like that. But I tell you what, a lot of people, a lot of Democrats who were actually cheering that event and saying he got what he deserved and everything, they're having to find something else to do than what they was doing before.
That is true. There were some consequences for some folk that publicly wanted to say that, no doubt.
And everybody says, "Oh, now you believe in cancel culture." It's like, hey, I'm not the one who canceled you. You said something on social media, you said it out there like it just goes away, and then somebody saw it, recognized you, told your boss, and your boss saw it and was just as appalled as any normal person would be, and said, "No, I'm sorry, we can't have somebody like you working for our company who's going to celebrate other people's deaths." Right. Do you remember for to give you an example of how different, we are, they all say that Donald Trump's just the worst person to come since, the old German guy with the funny mustache.
Right.
But you remember when Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away?
Yes.
And he talked about how extraordinary a life she had, and she was a very extraordinary lady. And
yes.
And, he didn't say, and he, of course, thoughts and prayers for the families and everything. And that's what you were hearing from everybody on the right. You didn't hear anybody say, "Oh, ha, ha, ha," burn in hell or anything like that. You didn't. You had some people on the fringe online on a YouTube feed or whatever, saying ignorant stuff like that. But as far as that might just be people trying to make, right-wingers or Christian people look bad. But, they haven't stopped either. It's
There's a culture war going on right now, and one side's debating and voting, the other side is shooting and killing. So what they don't seem to understand is that when you see people on TV and one side is getting hit with bricks and the other side is throwing the bricks, most of the time in civilized societies, the people getting hit with bricks eventually win. Just how it goes, because sympathy goes to people, who are obviously being oppressed and being attacked for no reason. And when terrorism happens, it's pretty plain to see. And they even tried to claim it was one of us, that shot Charlie Kirk.
Right.
They tried to do that for Donald Trump's attempted assassin too. And it's just it's not even cute anymore, guys. This doesn't work. Let's just go back to the table and talk. Because what y'all are doing isn't working.
Well, let's hope that can happen. And now I would like to be optimistic and think that it would. I don't know if I am, but let us at least hope and pray that could happen.
Well, it's simply going to happen because we're tired of tolerating the other situation. And it's, if it blows up, I'm sorry to say, well, we shoot straighter than they do. We got more guns than they do. And we've been getting mad for a long time and just having to swallow it. When we don't have to swallow it anymore, they're gonna wish they'd have left us alone. And that's what I got for today. But yeah, I'm just out there chunking the knives, man. So far I haven't missed and made a horrible clang on the radio. So.
All right. Oh, you've been throwing while you've been talking?
Yeah, I've been throwing while I've been talking.
All right. Well, good. Well, hey, Steve, I'm going to run, but thank you for your phone call. And again, we're going to have to get together and do a knife show.
Yes, sir. I'll let you know.
All right. Very good. There he goes, Steve. Thank you, Steve, for your phone call. And yes, I hope that we do not get into a situation where we have to figure out who can shoot better than the other. I would hope that we would not end up in that situation and instead actually find, are there basics we agree on anymore? Let's hope so. All right, fixing to go into news break here on News Radio 710 WNTM, and then back with more Uncle Henry Show. If you want to listen to some previous episodes of the Uncle Henry Show, they're available as podcasts. You can find them on the iHeartRadio app. Just look for Uncle Henry Show on the iHeartRadio app or go to newsradio710.com and look under podcasts for the Uncle Henry Show. And if you want to just see part of the show, part of it is on YouTube. Just look on YouTube for Uncle Henry Show. Back after the news break.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. Senate Majority Leader John Thune recently deployed a parliamentary suitcase nuke.
YouTube viewers, have a very safe and delightful evening and a pleasant tomorrow. I will turn the camera back on tomorrow for the regular time.
Take 67 votes to break a filibuster to actually alter the Senate rules. He and other Republicans voted to rule against the Senate parliamentarian and lower the bar to overcome a filibuster from 60 to 51 to advance a comprehensive slate of nominees all at once. That's a new precedent, and in the Senate, it carries the same weight as changing the Senate rules. Thune says that Democrats are obstinate and not